It's another Monday, and it's nice to be with you on the football show Monday. Um, it's a new program right out of the stables of the TWS Media. So our first edition was just last week Monday, and it's so wonderful that the week's flown by, and here I am, another Monday on the show, the football show Monday. My name is Wally, and today we're just going to be discussing football entirely. We're going to zero in on yeah, this one over here, over there, Nigerian Super Eagles. We're going to be talking quite a lot about them today. What went wrong? How could you be leading 4-0 after 35 minutes and then decided to collapse and ended the game 4-all against a very, permit me to say, lowly Sierra Leonean team? Um, Sierra Leone, as you well know, I mean, if you've been following football in Africa, are not exactly superpowers in football, but they did show that they've come of age, and they did show that, listen, we can mix it up with the big boys. And when I said the big boys, the Nigerian team, which was obviously filled with professionals, players playing across the world, big teams. Some of them played for Everton, Glasgow Rangers, clubs in Cyprus, Napoli, all over the world. Semi Ajayi that played for West Bromwich Albion in the Black Country in England. Awaziem, who obviously played also abroad. Okoye, the new boy, who our new goalkeeper, also was there. Quite a lot. I wouldn't say entirely experienced, especially when it comes to international football, but experienced when it comes to playing for their club sides. Don't forget, they play for teams, supposedly much more superior teams abroad than the Sierra Leoneans. And what happened? 4-0 after 35 minutes, and then decided to collapse and, drew the game 4-4. It was a disastrous day, I tell you, at the Samuel Obemudia Stadium in Benin, because everyone thought at 4-0, 35 minutes, this was going to be like probably a basketball result at the end of the day, but it wasn't so. So we're going to be discussing that we're going to go into details about what happened on that day. I've got a friend of the show, someone I've known for quite a while now, who's going to be joining us at some point. We're trying to establish contact with this friend of our show. He's all the way in Vietnam. Vietnam. That's where he is. He's played, locally in the Nigerian Football League for a long time, possibly for nearly the whole of his career, especially with teams like Enugu Rangers. But decided to call it quits in Vietnam after playing for some Vietnamese team. And at the moment, he himself has got a football team in Vietnam. So we're going to be talking about the issue once we establish contact with him. What happened on that day at Samuel Ogo Media Stadium in Benin, Nigeria? Why? How can you be leading 4-0 and then end up barely hanging on? Because the way it was after when I saw the game, if the Sierra Leoneans were probably given another extra 10 minutes, they could probably have won the game that day. But 4-4, it ended. Nigerian fans obviously were not happy about that. Football is more like a religion in Nigeria. And we've had very harsh words from the president of the Nigerian Football League. So if you're just looking, just to recap, it ended 4-4. Alex Iwobi, the Everton boy from Arsenal boy, scored twice. Osimhen, who played for Napoli, probably the most expensive African footballer now at the moment, scored once in 21st minute, and obviously Samuel Chukwueze, the one I usually call the Barcelona destroyer. I hope my daughter's not watching. Scored only 29 minutes. So within 30 minutes, Nigeria scored 4 goals with the stars. And then even before the end of the first half, they all went to sleep. So we will be discussing that. We'll be catching up on what happened, and obviously we're looking towards the return leg in the Shaka Stevens Stadium in Freetown, Sierra Leone. The boys are already there. The Super Eagles players are already there, and sadly, Osimhen would not be joining them because he was injured in that game. So Osimhen has gone back to Napoli because apparently he's waiting for his MRI and some scans to know the extent of the damage he suffered during the game against the Sierra Leoneans. He is going to be sadly missed. So we see. So let's just play you a recap, some clips from the game, a recap. Welcome back after that rather long break. Special thanks to CAF Online for those videos. Just the highlights of all the games you saw. Um, you know, the most striking part actually, some of the most striking, Equatorial Guinea, you know, doing well there, playing away to Libya. And Ghana there, courtesy one of the Ayew brothers, the one that plays for Swansea, scoring 2 beautiful goals on his 91st cap for Ghana, which was very interesting. Another interesting country that's been actually doing well, and everyone has been so silent about, is the Comoros Island. Yes, Comoros Island. You're probably thinking, where on earth is that? It's just close off the coast of the country called Mozambique. We saw Mozambique there played in one of the games where Cameroon defeated them. Actually, Cameroon beat them 2-0 today. So Comoros Island actually need just 1 point, just 1 point. The next game against Togo, I think, if they draw that game against Togo, that's it. They qualify for Afcon. Very wonderful. I mean, that's probably the beauty of Afcon and probably cup competitions around the world. You always see the minnows. One of the minnows are doing extremely well, and this year, just like Madagascar last competition, sorry, Comoros Island are doing everything possible. Just 1 point from the next match, all right, and they qualify. And this is a group. The group they feature in features Togo, Egypt, the almighty Egypt, yet Comoros Island are leading. Quite interesting, quite interesting. 8 points out of 4 games they played, Comoros Island. Egypt coming second in the Group G with 5 points out of 3 games. Kenya, you remember Kenya, the Harambee Stars of Kenya, coming third with three points from 4 matches. And obviously Togo, the country, we all know Emmanuel Adebayo, former Man City, former Arsenal player, former Real Madrid player, Togo, just 1 point out of 3 matches. Um, you know what? Look out for Comoros Island. They are indeed probably, for me, my revelation of the tournament if they qualify. Even if they don't qualify, they've really done themselves a world of good by playing some magnificent football, getting some wonderful results, remarkable results, and they should be very, very proud of themselves. So, going back to the Super Eagles, they're playing the return game against Sierra Leone at the Shepherd Stevens Stadium, and like I said, Victor Osimhen wouldn't be on the train. Actually, wasn't on the plane to Sierra Leone because the boys are already there at the Red Blue Hotel in Sierra Leone, Freetown, Sierra Leone. Victor Osimhen is not there. Obviously, he's injured, so this might be an opportunity for Denis Emmanuel, the Belgian-based footballer, to try it, to try out and see if he can do Nigerians proud. Last week when we had the Bayonle Arashi on the show, and I know after the game, Bayonle and I had a quick chat about what happened after the game, the Super Eagles Sierra Leone game 4-4. Bayonle was quick to say, "I told you, I told you on the program," and I was like, "Yes, he did." So there's something wrong with the Super Eagles. We don't know. I'm not a coach, and I can only talk about what I know well, as a fan, um, um, as a presenter of the show you're watching. So there's something probably wrong with that team because it's not really um, proper for you to lead a game of that magnitude. I mean, if we have won that game, if Super Eagles have won that game, they probably would have been plain sailing, all system go um, to qualify for the Afcon. But it is done now. It is done. At some point, we will be having a look at the aftermath of that game that day when the president of Nigerian Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick Amaju, actually went into the Nigerian dressing room. Very disturbing pictures, I must say. When I saw it, I was really very disturbed. I know he's the NFF president. I know the box tops, you know, on his table if anything goes wrong, if Nigeria don't qualify for AFCON or the World Cup. But the pictures I saw from that meeting, the so-called meeting he had with the boys, and the technical advisor again, Gail Raw, was a bit disturbing. I mean, he actually took over the job of the coach, the job of the manager, talking to his boys, while the manager, Severa, was just like a bystander, you know, sat down there and speechless. It was just like a father talking to his children with the coach, the manager there sitting and just wondering what is going on. I felt that was to me, I felt that was embarrassing. I mean, you are the coach, you are the manager of the team. Anything goes wrong with that team, you should be sorting it out. Okay, if there should be a meeting at all, it should be a closed door meeting between yourself as the NFF president and the manager. All right, so you know what you want to say to that manager, not go and you have all the cameras on there. You have multiple mobile phones recording what you were saying to the boys. I mean, at that point in time, if you wanted to say anything to the boys, um, don't make it open. All right. We all know the boys collapsed. We all know that. Everyone was angry about that. Yeah, no doubt. But for you now to go in and just talk to the boys like they were like kids, all right, and the coach was there. It's I don't think it's right, and this is just my personal opinion. We are going to play the video to you. Have a look at it, and you be the judge for yourself. 4-0. Anything less than 4-0 wouldn't be acceptable. Hold on, these guys drew 4-4 with you. They are no longer minnows, as far as I'm concerned. They've rubbed shoulders with big boys now. As far as I'm concerned, after that day at the Samuel Obemudia Stadium in Benin, they, yeah, rightly qualified to be big boys too. For you now to tell the boys you need to go there and give them 4-0, beat them 4-0. If you don't do that, I mean, what's that all about? Okay, so if we can, we'll just if we can get the audio of this, maybe you understand what I'm saying, and you can listen to the NFF president Amaju Pinnick talking to the boys. You know, we'll try and get that full video to you so you can listen and obviously be the judge for yourself. But personally, I thought that was cringy. All right, that's a no. If you're going to have a meeting with the kids, not with the kids, if you're going to have a meeting with the boys like that, make it private. Okay, what happened in the dressing room stays in the dressing room, and that's why you've got a communication department in the NFF to come out and obviously inform the press about what's going on. So that's the story so far about the Super Eagles and obviously the Sierra Leonean team. We've got return leg, and we see if Amadou Pinnick's instructions to the Super Eagles to go out there, make sure you beat them 4-0. We see if the Super Eagles obviously will carry out that instruction. But good thing is, Super Eagles are still leading that Group L with 7 points out of 3 games. Closely followed by Benin Republic, 6 points, and Sierra Leone. It really to be nice, Sierra Leone. We've so far drawn 2 games, one of them against Super Eagles. We've got 2 points out of 3 games, and obviously Lesotho, 1 point from 3 games. So, simple math. Nigeria needs to beat Sierra Leone in the return leg. Okay, so if Nigeria don't do that, obviously Benin Republic are playing the whipping boys of the team of the league of the group. That's Group L. That's Lesotho, and that's just what we need to do. So today's match day 4, the Afcon qualifiers. We've got the results for today, as you can see. South Africa beating Sao Tome and Principe 4-2. South Sudan, a very brand new team, another of the Minos, beating Uganda 1-0. Algeria, sorry, they qualified, obviously. Senegal is obviously qualified. Cameroon beat Mozambique at home today in Maputo 2-0. Gabon lost to Gambia. That's a very surprising result there. Botswana beating Zambia. Another very surprising result. I mean, Zambia, we know all about them. Kalusha Bualia, KK11, they used to call them back in the days. Zimbabwe and Algeria playing 2-2. And obviously, Eswatini and Congo playing 0-0. So we've got the Algeria Zimbabwe video. We're going to have a look at that. And obviously, just have a look at the highlights. And when we come back, we will talk more about the African Cup of Nations. I'm sure you saw one or two faces there, very known faces playing for Algeria. Of course, Riyad Mahrez, the Man City um, star that plays for the Finek of Algeria, obviously scoring there. Another sad news that have come out of the Afcon, really, not sad news, very probably it's a bit disturbing news. So Gabon national team and went to play Gambia in Banjul, Gambia, and they were made to sleep at the airport because CAF couldn't. I don't know this full story, but according to sources, they're saying CAF could not source a proper hotel for them, so they had to make do with sleeping at the Banjul, and that's the Gambian airport for the night. And don't forget, in Gabon, as they're called, the Panthers, have Arsenal star Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who is their captain and also the probably most influential player to come out of Gabon. So it was really a nightmare for the Gabonese national team. Imagine having a game the next day and you're made to sleep at the airport because no adequate preparation were made for you. So CAF, Confederation of African Football, um, I've really got bashed today by the Gabonese. According to Aubameyang, he said we were made to feel like hostages, which wasn't too good. So, but that's for CAF to sort out. But again, massive thanks to CAF Online for the clips we've shown you today. We were supposed to have a friend of the show, all the way from Vietnam. His name is Shapiseta, who used to play for this, not Super Eagles, for Nigeria under 20 teams, and also for Enugu Rangers in Enugu, Nigeria. Was supposed to join us for the show, but due to some technical problems we experienced between Vietnam and obviously London, we've not been able to connect into the show. That's why I'm alone today talking about football. So if we can, as soon as we can, get him, we will obviously get him on the show. But if we can't, then the show must go on. I'll just continue with what I am doing. So again, today we've talked so much about the African qualifiers. Let's just bring it slowly back home now. When I say, oh, England yesterday obviously lost out of qualifying for the European Nations Cup. I've been lost to the Belgians, the Red Devils of Belgium, by 2-0. What can we say? England's been obviously riding high for the past few games, and it's such a shame that they missed out and they lost to the Belgians yesterday. But the good thing about the game yesterday was there's a new English star. Okay, the Aston Villa Jack Grealish it was a revelation yesterday. Did absolutely well, but so sad that he was on the losing team. Hopefully, England can obviously pick up from where they lost yesterday, and you know, just do what they know how to do most, winning games and playing obviously good football, and hopefully they pick up from there. So let me go back again to the Afcon qualifiers, and let me go back to Sierra Leone, who obviously are going to be missing their big captain, Omaru Bangura, the defender who plays for FC Zurich. That was quite interesting. At the end of the day, we will see who's going to have the last laugh. So those were initially you saw before the Super Eagles training, you saw Benin Republic fans obviously supporting Sierra Leonean fans, calling the Super Eagles, Eagles, which is very fun. In Africa, I mean, it's always like this. Football, we've got fanatic following for football across the African continent. And the banter over there could get to very high levels, and part of it was you saw that time. That's the not Benin, I mean Benin City, in Edo, the fans of the Super Eagles turning against their team because obviously after drawing 4-4, well, they weren't really satisfied. They were really happy about that. So the Edo boys, the Benin boys, who are the fans of the Super Eagles, turning against their players, shouting Super Eagles, obviously because of the way they played that day. But I can always say it's not over until it's over. Okay, we still have a second leg to play. I strongly believe in the team, except I've proved otherwise. I strongly believe in the team. We've got enough stars, enough footballers there, enough winners in that team to do us proud when they play the game in Freetown. And it's I had a look at the stadium. Super Eagles are going to be playing Sierra Leone on today, and I must say that's probably not the kind of stadium the boys are used to. And obviously, we brought this up when we spoke about this issue last week when Barney mentioned when we played Sudan, sometimes in the early 2000s. And the Sudanese took us to a city called Omdurman, where the stadium was a bit threatening, But what happened? We were able to, overpower the Sudanese. So the same thing is happening now. Sierra Leoneans have taken us to a pitch. Obviously, their boys are well suited to, and our boys are not really suited to. So, but it's football. I mean, you can play football anywhere. Although the boys might not be used to it, they're used to large pitches around Europe where they play in England, in Italy, in France, in Portugal, wherever in Spain. They used to, obviously very good pitches, but they will be having a test of their lives, when they play against Sierra Leone in Freetown. And I do strongly believe, well, that the boys could turn the table. They were not really happy about what happened against Benin Republic. Sorry, against Sierra Leone in Benin. Some of them have come out to say, and obviously the captain of the team, Ahmed Musa, have come out to say, guys, we know we did wrong. We're sorry. We're going to make up for it. Let's hold them by their words. Let's hold them to their words. And I'm sure they will go out there and do the best they can. Obviously, the manager after the game summed it up and said the boys were really tired. Some of them came a day before the game, okay, and they had to play the game, which was a bit confusing. How can you come a day before a game and you're playing the game? So you're coming all the way from Europe with jet lag and whatever you, and not enough rest, and you're playing a game. Obviously, you run tired, okay, even though you're professionals. So he also mentioned that they didn't train enough, which I don't know. It's part of the game nowadays. I mean, especially with COVID, because football is not what we know it to be. Perhaps if we had a stadium full with fans, that would have been able to lift the boys, cheer them up towards, stopping the Sierra Leonean from scoring all those 4 goals. But it's happened. It's happened. We move forward, and I do believe the Super Eagles will hopefully do us proud and come out tops. And I'm not going to be like Amaji Pinnick now and say, go out there and make sure if you don't beat them 4-0, don't come back. No, no way. I'm not saying he said that, but I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say, boys, go out there, enjoy yourself. Just know you've got the backings of Nigerians, and do your stuff. You're experienced enough. You play against bigger players than Sierra Leoneans. No disrespect to Sierra Leoneans. I play against bigger boys. Go out there, share your stuff. A goal, 2 goals, that's enough for us. All we want is just 3 points. Okay, we're not saying you must go there and um, score 4 goals or not. So that's it for the Super Eagles. Hopefully next week we'll be bringing someone else to obviously review the Super Eagles game against Sierra Leoneans, and obviously some other Afcon games that you know will happen between today and the end of the week. Don't forget, the internationals are ending this week, so we're going back to normal life, following our football clubs, and at the weekend, the Premier League will return, the Spanish League will return, La Liga will return, the Serie A will return, and all the others. And as you can see, we're watching now, Sheffield United are still 20th. I mean, could you believe that? Sheffield United this time last season, they were like, riding very high. Burnley also still down there. Also, same with West Brom, Semi Ajayi's team, Fulham and Brighton. Leeds, wow, we expected so much from them this season, especially with their vastly experienced coach, manager Marcelo Bielsa. But they're still struggling. And look at Man United, 14th, not too good. Yeah, I'm sure you agree with me, not too good. The great Man United team, 14th in the league, even though they played just 7 games. That's not a very usual sight. You will totally agree with me. But it's still early in the league. It's still early. But 14, it's laughable. Arsenal 11th. Man City, again laughable. Not been doing too well. What's going on with Pep? Is he going to sign it? Is he going to sign that team? Just like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Is he going to sign a new contract, extend his contract? We don't know. They say he will. Hopefully he does. And hopefully he does stay in the English Premier League, because he's quite an exciting addition to the English Premier League. But Man City not doing too well at the moment. Wolves, well, they're here and there, but they've been a team I totally like. The manager, very is really very great coach, and the grandfather of them all, Roy Hodgson, with Crystal Palace, still waxing strong. Oh, good old boy. Um, and then followed by Everton, vast experience. Carlo Ancelotti started this season very well, but they're dropping the goals, leaking goals and dropping points now. Aston Villa, for me, so far revelation of the Premier League. Um, Last time out, 3-0 against Arsenal. Wow, so, that was some good game. That game was. Chelsea, I think they probably are starting to rediscover their rhythm now. They've got the a playmaker, I'll say, someone that is visionary now, Akim Ziyech, doing really well. And obviously, Kai Havertz is still isolating after testing positive to coronavirus, COVID-19. Hopefully, every player comes back well. Ben Chilwell is already injured, probably out for a number of weeks. We don't know yet; it's not confirmed, but we'll see. Chelsea, fifth. Southampton, doing absolutely well. I mean, who would have thought Southampton will be fourth at the moment and really good. Liverpool, still tipping them to win the league this season, but are they going to cope without Van Dijk? Are they going to cope without Joe Gomez? Are they going to cope without Mo Salah, who is now tested positive to coronavirus? Are they going to cope without Jordan Anderson, who was injured in the game yesterday against Belgium whilst playing for England? Big questions. We're going to see. But they're third at the moment. Spurs with Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho, Jose. He says his name is not Jose Mourinho because he's not Argentinian. He's Portuguese, so it's Jose Mourinho. Doing really well with Spurs. You know what? If there's an outsider tip to win this league this season, I think I'll go for Spurs. Doing well, but again, depends on how fresh they keep Harry Kane and Son Heung-min. How fresh they keep them. Those two pivotal to anything Spurs are going to achieve this season. But with Jose Mourinho, never say never. And obviously, Leicester City with our own Ndidi and Kelechi Iheanacho leading the pack. So this is week coming, week 9, match day 9. Newcastle are going to be playing against Chelsea. That'll be some game. Chelsea playing away, Fulham playing Everton, Wolves playing Southampton, Man United playing West Brom. That Man United should definitely win that game, but in the Premier League, never say never. Liverpool, Leicester, that's some juicy tie there, very juicy tie. Aston Villa playing against Brighton. That's going to be at the Villa Park. Burnley playing against Crystal Palace. Spurs, Tottenham Spurs, and Man City. For me, the tie of the weekend. What way is he going to go? Don't ask me. Sheffield United will play West Ham, and obviously Leeds against Arsenal. That's another should be another mouth-watering encounter there. So that's the Premier League for this weekend coming in this coming weekend. Next week we'll be reviewing these games, obviously, and we'll be also be talking about the following week's games. We're not just going to be focusing on the Premier League, but we're going to also be checking out the La Liga. We're going to be checking out Serie A, Leone in France, and some more other leagues. But that's the show for today. I'm sure you're not. Hopefully, you're not too bored with just seeing my face alone today, because we were supposed to have someone joining us today, but unfortunately, due to technical issues, we were not able to establish contact between London and Vietnam. So apologies for that. Hopefully, we get technology working really well. 5G, 6G, whatever you want to call it, so we can get everywhere connected around the world, and we're bringing faces to talk football with you. But hopefully next week we'll be getting someone again, someone joining me to talk football. But it's been a pleasure talking football with you today, going around Afcon, talking a bit about England, and obviously talking about the English Premier League. My name is Wally. So glad to be with you today, and please, whatever you do this week, make sure you have a very wonderful week, and do stay safe. Join us on Sunday for the Way Show, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. GMT. Okay, the Way Show. Join us on Sunday, 8 p.m. GMT, and next week Monday, the Football Show, 8 p.m. GMT. Every Monday, live here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to us. Okay, subscribe, red button, subscribe, and tell someone about us. Thank you for being with me today, and hopefully we'll be together next week. Thank you, and have a good night.